Hello everyone, here's Mayuri back with the new tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to see Python list data type, and I'm going to cover the following points: defining list, accessing values in list, deleting values in list, updating list, then basic list operation, built-in list function. So my dear friends, we will see this all one by one. So let's begin it. Now defining list. My dear friends, as we see in the previous tutorial, the list can be declared by placing all the elements, which are nothing but the atoms, inside a square bracket separated by a comma. Right. Now here I have taken an example of an empty list. That is list 1. I have declared the list. I have initialized a empty square bracket, which is nothing but the empty list. Dear friends, now here I have initialized the list with integer element, that is 10, 20, 30. Now here the third, in this way also we can initialize, that is here I have taken the mixed data type, that is the floating, then the integer, then string. And last one you can see with the mixed data type, list and tuple as its element, right? That is 12, then the comma, then it inside that contain another list, comma, and the tuple. So here are some of the different ways that I have mentioned here where we can initialize the list. Now my dear friends, accessing the list. Now here accessing the list means I wanted to get the elements from the list which I have initialized. We can use indexing operator, that is the square bracket, to access the list elements which starts from 0. Therefore, a list of 5 elements will have the index number from 0 to 4. As the indexes start from 0, even if we contain the 4 elements, it will start from 0 to 3. It will not include 4. As here I have taken an example where I have initialized the list containing the 3 elements 10, 20, 30, where it index starts from 0, 1 and 2. Right. Now here I am accessing the element from list, that is print list 1 in the bracket 0, where I have mentioned the 0 index. It will print 10. Similarly, at the next line you can see at indexed 1 it will access the element 20, at the third 30, right, where I have accessed the element from the second index. Now here at the downside you can see print list in the index I have mentioned 3, and my dear friends, the third element don't have, right, it don't contain the element, third indexed element, so it will get an error, that is the indexed error, list indexed out of range. In the similar way, if you use the floating, that is 1.3, at the below it you can see it will give you a type error, that is list indices must be integer or slices, not float. Now my dear friends, negative list indexing. Python allows negative indexing to its elements. If index number of first element is 0, right, then the index number of last element should be -1. Second element should be at index -2 from the last. Now here I have taken an example having the 3 elements 10, 20, 30. Now here at the 0 position here is 10, right, and 30, which is from last first element. If we give a negative index string, then -1 will be the index of 30, which is last first element. Now from last if you see the second, its index will be -2, and this is what a negative list indexing in Python. Now we will see the basic list operation. Now first one is the adding elements. How we can add the elements in the list? Here the Python has provided somewhat predefined methods through which we can insert the elements in the list. First one is the append. This function appends and add specified element to list. It adds specified element to the last position of a list. Now here if you see the syntax, it is list name dot append and new element which we wanted to add, and the append method it will add the specified element at the last of the list. Now the insert. This function inserts an element at specified position. As append, just my dear friends, see the difference between the methods which are provided to add the list element, right? Now the syntax, if you see of insert, list name dot insert, which contains two parameter, position and element. Position, at position which position you wanted to add, and the element which we wanted to add. See another method, that is extend. This function adds element of parameter list with invoking list. As if you see the syntax, that's list1 dot extends in parenthesis list2. As the name tells you of the function, that is extend, it will extend the list, one list to another list. That means it will append the another list. Now, my dear friends, if you wanted to find the length of a list, here Python has provided the predefined function. Almost every sequence contain underscore, double underscore, len, double underscore, empty parenthesis function. This function retains the length of list. If you see your example where I have initialized the list and below it a is equal to list1 dot underscore, double underscore, length, double underscore, parenthesis. This means this will return the length of list1 to a and it will print the length of a list. Now my dear friends, updating the elements in the list. As my dear friends, we know that list is mutable entity. That means it can be update and overwrite its element by using the assignment operator. Right. Now here I have taken an example, list 1, where I have initialized the element, 4 element 2, 5, 7, 4. Now here list 1 in the empty in the square bracket, I have index 0 is equal to 54. If you see the output, that means at the 0 index it will get assigned 54. That means in the previous, if we initialized, you will see that it was true. Now it is replaced by 54. Now below it you can see list 1 in the square bracket 1 comma 4 is equal to, that means from index 1 to 3, but it will not include 4. That means from 1 to 3 it will initialize to 690. Now my dear friends, deleting the elements from the list. Now if you want to delete the element, it has also provided somewhat the predefined method. Now first one is the del, which is the keyword, and this keyword is used to remove one or more elements from list. And my dear friends, even it can remove entire list. If you see your example, you will understand. Here I have taken the list 1 containing the elements. Now del, I have used the keyword for deleting the elements, list 1 in the square bracket 2, which I mentioned the index. That means it will delete the element from index 2, which is 7, right? Now list del list 1, it will delete entire list. It will delete your entire list. Now the second one is the method remove. This method removes specified element from list. Now if you see here the syntax, list name dot remove in the parenthesis will contain the element. That means it will remove a specified element from the list which we have specified in the parenthesis using the remove method. Now the third one is the pop. This function removes the element from specified index. Right. Now if you see here the syntax, that is list name dot pop index number. That means you have to specify here the index number, and that particular index number element will get deleted. Clear. This function removes all elements from list. That means here I have, if you see here the syntax, that is list name dot clear, and this will clear all the elements from the list. And using the del keyword, what happens? It will delete your entire list, and using the clear, it will delete all the elements from the list. So these were the methods for deleting elements. Now we will turn towards the built-in function which comes under the list. The first one is the append, which add the element to the end of the list. Then the extend, which add all elements of list to another list. That means it combines the two lists. Third one is insert, which insert an element at a defined index. Remove an element from the list. Pop removes and returns the element at a given index. Then the count, which returns the count of elements passed as the arguments. Sort items in list in ascending order. Then reverse the order of item in the list. So my dear friends, these were the full tutorial on the list, which is the data type in Python. Right, now here we have covered all that: defining list, basic list operation, then built-in list function. And my dear friends, in the further tutorial, in next tutorial, I am going to have the practical session where I am going to include this all the things, so that you will clear the doubts regarding the list data type. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe it so that you will get notification as soon as I do my next video. And thank you so much for watching this video.